Okay, everybody, this is Joey at Bikeman Performance again. I have a treat for you today. A lot of times we don't, publish what this does, but right now we have a Stage 2 Polaris 850 with not regular compression domes in it. We have the high compression domes in it with race gas. So we're going to show you what our mapping does when you say get our Stage 2 kit and you want to really take this thing seriously racing, and put our race gas stage map in it, or if you're running a high elevation, you could run the same setup without race gas, just because your octane is more valuable up there. So let's go right into this. We'll go into the first run here. Engine is once again operating temperature, and the pipe is like you're sitting there idling on the waiting to take off for a few minutes. So it's the first run, makes a little bit more torque, and the horsepower settles down after a few runs into it. But we do a lot really good with minimizing the difference between those. So let's go into our first run here. You'll notice the higher compression makes more power the entire way through, just because it's getting a better burn on everything. This is our first cold run. I mean, look at that power. And that torque back here is going to drop a little bit just when the pipe gets hotter. But on that first run, it's 198.2 with 129.5 foot-pounds of torque. So if you're a serious racer and you want to go out there and kick some butt, high compression dome is really going to bump that up. It's about 8 horse, so that's a pretty sweet gain. All right, we'll go right into that second run. And you can see with race gas we can run quite a bit leaner than stock. Like even on the second run here, we're still down around that 5.0 mark. So that one there was 196.4 with 505 for brake specific fuel consumption, which is how many pounds of fuel per hour per horsepower. So you can see we're really kind of mellow that out and do some fun stuff with that fuel curve. So now we'll go into run number 2. And everything's getting a little bit hotter, so you'll see that power kind of stabilize out a little bit. But the over rev is a little bit better on that hotter pipe. So, but it still peaks, right around that 8200 range. 81 to 8200 is all a good spot to be. And look how flat that horsepower shelf is up top. That's a pretty sweet gain compared to the regular compression. We're 126.73 foot-pounds of torque, and on this run we're peaked out at 195.82. And on this run we're in that low 5s for brake specific fuel consumption. Hit down to like 509. I'm going to run number 4 here. So for all you people that do good old boy racing and want to be faster than your friend, putting high compression domes in is really gonna give you an edge. Little waiver on that one up top. ECU is making some correction. We're still 193.3 with 125.7. Looks like it hit the next level of adding fuel, so that might have been a little bit of that drop right there. All right, this is run number 5. So as the ECU is adjusting to the pipe heat and the muffler heat, it does make some changes. So you see a little bit of a variance in that power, but as it goes up, there's only so many degrees where you can make a change. So that last run might have been kind of within one of those degrees where it had made a change, but it wasn't quite as ready for it as it is now. So you can see the power on this one came back up to 196.9, pretty much 8100 to 8200. You could run the whole way out to 8500 if you're out of gears and you just want to get that little bit extra out of it. It's definitely not a big thing. You can see our brake specifics still nice and low. We're 516, and peak torque was 127.7. So let's go back and we'll go right into this next run here. And everything's fully heated up, and it's running back to back. That run there was 197 horsepower, and that's got decent power the whole way from 8300 back to 8000. I mean, it's over 194 horse the whole way from 8000 to 8300. So if you're got the sled set up so you're clutching it, you definitely, when it's hot, you're gonna want it to come up to like 80-50 pretty quick, and then if it runs out to 8300 or 8250, I mean, that's all a good spot to be. If you're the whole way up to 8500, you are missing out on a little bit, but it's not the end of the world because it's still making some killer power. Let's do one more here, and that'll be the end of the race gas high compression stage 2. Now, if we look at the last 3 runs back to back to back, you're going to notice that they are almost carbon copies of each other. We'll overlay them here just so you can see. Oh, sorry about that. Got a little happy hitting the mouse. So that's 3 runs back to back. I challenge any dyno facility to make runs this consistent. If they are a dyno facility that can, I definitely give them props, because we put a lot into our testing facility to make our conditions consistent and allow us to have equipment that can reproduce itself. Because if you look at the horsepower of these runs, I mean, you're 0.2 of a horsepower. That is 0.1% difference between runs. So this back-to-back testing, when it repeats, this is what you can expect, and you can definitely see that our runs do repeat back to back to back to back, and this is information you can definitely go off of. So if you want to look at the 3 comparison, the fueling is changing a little bit during the different runs, just because the environment's changed a little bit, but look how consistent that power is and that torque. So that's our high compression stage 2. Joey Strub over and out. Check out all our cool products at bikemanperformance.com.